You know, it seems like such a simple concept, monk mode. You know, you just disconnect, right? Just disconnect from your normal routines, from technology as much as possible, social media, movies, even music. Now, I think music is where I'm starting to figure it out, you know, like this is day 3, and so far I've been pretty good about, well, I haven't been on social media, and I'm at work today, so of course that's always a challenge, you know, trying to adjust to a new routine. I'm not on YouTube looking at videos, watching, you know, inspiration, motivation, self-help. Obviously I'm posting my videos, but I'm not even responding to comments. I'm trying to isolate myself as much as I can. And the music part, so I'm out on my lunch walk today, and I just told myself I can't listen to podcasts, but I can listen to music. And you know, some of the videos I watched prior to starting said, you know, no music, you know, that's part of monk mode, you can't listen to music. And I think I'm starting to finally get it, you know. Monk mode is truly about going to the inner cave, going inside yourself, trying to figure out what it is that you want, and going after that. You know, being alone with your thoughts, being in your head, and it's more challenging than I thought, honestly. But there's something about it that's definitely awesome and appealing, and I'm enjoying it in ways, and it's terrible in others. But you know, the social aspect, you know, I've been able to socialize in real life, and that's fine. But you know, on social media or YouTube or anything like that, I'm not, and that's okay. You know, like I say, it's all an adjustment, and it's not forever. It's just, you know, trying to connect with that part of me that I feel like technology is kind of stripped away. And in ways it's good, and in ways it's bad. And I don't think it's necessarily about being militant about it, but it is being mindful about it and figuring out, well, what do you want? What do you really want? Because you can't have everything. If you want to really connect, you know, with that creative side inside you, sometimes you need to let go of everything and see what the voices in your head say. You know, what's it like to be by yourself again? What's it like to be in your thoughts? It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But I think I like the challenge. And again, I keep going through the visual of monk mode itself. You know, I imagine, you know, if you were at the top of a mountain in some little monastery, isolating yourself from society, doing what you're told, it'd be much easier, you know, because you wouldn't really have a choice. But when you're right in the middle of society and going to work and doing your thing, it definitely takes a lot more willpower, and you have to really decide what it is that you want, because in order to go for it, you have to sacrifice. And that's what it's all about, is you have to sacrifice something, because unless you change the things you're doing, you're always going to have the same thing you've always had. You're going to have the same results. So if you want something new, you have to do something new, and that's all there is to it. And so I think that's what monk mode is all about, you know? Challenge yourself, be uncomfortable, it's okay. It's okay. I feel like when we go deep enough into the cave, that's where we start finding our demons, you know? That's when we start figuring out who we are, what we're about. You know, you have to face yourself, you have to face where you are in life, where you're not in life, the things you want. You know, I've seen some videos that talk about boredom, you know, and being bored sometimes is one of the best things you can do for yourself, because that's when you start digging down and finding your creativity or your motivation. Because let's face it, as long as you're distracted and entertained, you don't need anything. You're not looking for anything. But I think ultimately we as people know what we want. Deep down, you know what you want. But the problem is you're not usually willing to get it until you have to go get it. Some people are, but I think a lot of people aren't. I think even though you know what you want, it takes something external to push you to go get what you want. For instance, let's say you're hungry and there's nothing to eat. Well, if you get hungry enough, you're gonna figure it out. You know, most of us will figure it out. We'll go find something to eat. We'll figure that out one way or the other. Some people, I don't know, they don't have that feature and they just suffer. I'm not sure. But me, I can tell you, usually if I need something, I figure it out. And I think sometimes you just gotta disconnect a little bit to give yourself the opportunity to figure it out. Because all the answers to the things that you have going on are probably already there. But unless you can detach for just a little while, you're not gonna find it. Because you've already drowned that voice out with entertainment, with music, with movies, with social media, with people's opinions. You're drowning out the answers. That's why meditation is so potent for some people, and prayer is so potent for some people, because it's the only time you shut off the outside world. You turn off the TV for a minute, you sit in silence, you go to a quiet place. That's why people love to go hiking or escape into the mountains or go camping, because they can unplug, they can turn off their cell phone. It's not rocket science, you know? All it is saying, I don't have the willpower in my regular life, so I need something completely external to help me. Or a motivating factor. If you're being chased by a bear, you're gonna run. But if you're not, you may or may not run. You don't really have any reason to run. Something to think about. And it's funny how just a little short time on a walk, little 2.5 mile walk at lunch, and my brain already switches on. You know, I always think about, I go back before technology, you know, when I was really creating a lot of art and I was painting, sculpting, building paper mache monsters, and I draw. And I first started taking pictures. I didn't really have all the technology. I didn't have the internet. I didn't have cell phones. I just did it because first of all, I really enjoyed creating. I love the creative process. And second of all, I didn't have the distractions. You know, I didn't have the constant distractions. And you didn't have other people's opinions in your ear either. And you didn't have all the experts. Everybody's an expert now. You didn't have all the experts. In fact, you might find somebody really good at what you want to do in a book or a picture in a magazine, and you'd think about that forever because you didn't come across it all the time. And when you did come across something, you took note. Nowadays, we can be inundated with things, with opinions and cool pictures and talent, and everybody's rich, and, you know, teenagers making millions. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm working a job, you know. It's like, okay, sometimes I think we need to shut the world out. We need to turn off the outside noise so that we can get in tune with what we are capable of. Because I don't think we know what we're capable of. And it's easy to build a wall around yourself and just pretend like it doesn't matter. And it's easy to turn up the volume on all the distractions around you so that you just never have to be alone. You never have to think about it. You never have to look in that mirror. You never have to face reality. You never have to get better or practice or suffer. Because let's face it, it's hard. It's hard work. It's hard work, and that's what it's all about. And if you want to get anywhere in life, you got to be willing to do the hard work. And if you're not, chances are you're going to be exactly where you are in 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Time will stop. And the more technology gets going, and the more exciting things get, and the more bells and whistles there are around you, the more you're going to just hit pause on life and become kind of a zombie to it. So I guess that's what monk mode's all about for me right now. Just detaching for just a minute, just so I can hear that voice one more time. Because maybe there's something that I missed, you know? Maybe I get duped just like everybody else, and I'm hiding in the technology just like everybody else. It's kind of invigorating, honestly. And you know, it is a really good feeling when you know that the world is full of choices and people are making choices every single second, and you finally start making the right choice. The choice that you know is sending you down the right path. It's a good feeling. It truly is.